Hussein Fancy, you gave us a nice introduction for the commercial banking of Royal Bank. Today, we are here today I get Roshan said he wanted to ask some questions to answer rather than giving the speech here.
We decided to have this as a question and answer session, as a role play. So, as you all know, with my introduction, Mr. Vettibale has a successful real estate business. Salva, can you explain to us, to the audience, what is the motive or what is the the success behind the real estate brokerage and yourself?
Any business we want to get involved, either real estate business or photography business or any business, we have to believe the concept. What are we going to do? In my side, I started real estate in 1995. I was very fortunate. I was in a meeting with one of the major trainers from California. His name is Mr. David Knock. I can't even call him as a guru. That was a very coincidence. One of the real estate agents gave me the chance to go to that particular meeting. When I was in the meeting, I didn't know anything about real estate. I never looked at the houses. I was living in the apartment building with my two small girls. I was a banker at that time. And that particular meeting, that's the first meeting I went to the Toronto Convention Center. That's the first time I went there too. It's over 2,000 people's crowd arranged by the Century 21 head office. That meeting, when I was there, the David Knox speech really impressed me. He said to that meeting, that time the real estate market went down and many of them was leaving from the market, real estate industry. They almost leaving the industry and market was went down around 40% and nobody wanted to get in real estate. That time they want to hold the real estate agent, whoever is there in the real estate market. That's the time I went to that particular seminar. That time David Knox, he was saying, real estate is one of the industry, anybody can be millionaires. The concept is that any business you want to start, you have to buy the product or sell the product. Either dollar store or car sale or anything you want to do. But if you want to start even a service business, you have to buy the product to do the business. But real estate, with the minimum studies, you can be a millionaire within 3 years. And especially he put one point, that time real estate commissions was 5 to 6%. If you can sell 15 houses with 6%, you are going to own one free house. You know the concept, he said. Even the 5% commission, if you sell 20 houses, you can have one freedom in your life. Then he said California, so there are agents selling 60 to 80 houses. That time, honestly saying, I didn't sleep. I want to get in real estate. I don't know how to get in real estate. I didn't know Tiamo, I didn't know Isa Parada. I think I believe they started earlier than me those days, but I didn't know them. Then that time, no Google search. Then I was hunting to find the real estate industry. That day, I believe real estate is the product we can sell without having any capital product. We can sell service and we can make enough money. The concept still there. That's called a free inventory. Everywhere we can sell houses. We don't need to buy the house and sell the house. We can go there and guide the sellers and we can get the commission. When you sell 20 houses, you only need a new house. That's concept still there. That's the reason I went to real estate in 1995. I believe after 20 years still, that's the valid reason. That's the reason I trained over 700 real estate agents in my career.
All right, thank you. Now, I know you have about 400 agents working for you or working for the company.
In our company, yeah, over 400.
Over 400. Now, what is it that motivates these agents to come to you or to HomeLife Future as opposed to going to any other brokerages?
Anything, if you want anything, we have to give first before we get. When I started the real estate office, Tam is looking here. He knows very well from the start. And then my goal, I didn't plan to have a big real estate office. I want to have a freedom. I want to have my own office. Later on, I realized to keep some agents. Then what I did, rather than calling the other real estate companies and ask them to come and join my office, I started to give them first education as a real estate classes. That was my background. I was a part-time teacher when I was in Sri Lanka. Those days we was making money from giving the tuitions and those kind of things in the early 80s. I have some background with the teaching background. And one of the salesperson who is in my office, he was my tax client, income tax client. Then he asked me, can you teach real estate? That's the spark I got. Then I started the real estate classes, started to teach them. And my real estate classes, I was giving the free lesson for the people since 2004 until now we are doing it. That's one of the success. I don't have any contract, I don't do anything. Whoever come and study, they study. If they like to go to different office, they are welcome to go to different offices. Whoever join with me, they joining with the full heart. That's been I'm giving first, I'm getting it back. That's the success of real estate.
All right. Now, you have helped many clients, many many business people to get to the next level. Is there something out there that you would like to share that something that's something that you have in mind that you can't forget? Someone you had helped who had succeeded tremendously with your help.
Yes, I can tell you a few stories other than the real estate stories because there are so many real estate agents are here. Then I can tell you about the stories I really impressed from my clients, my advice works from my income tax business. My first business I started my accounting business in '93. When I started to teach these real estate classes in 2004, like I can tell you about few stories which behind really success stories for my clients. 2004 I started to put advertisement as a free real estate classes there. Then those couple came from my income tax clients, from few years income tax clients. They came and they want to study real estate. Before somebody want to get into real estate, I always advise them how the real estate industry works, and they had to work the evening, weekends, and they had to drive around the peoples and make the offers and bargain, negotiation, you know what I mean. I don't want to start anybody who will come in right away to tell real estate. While I was talking to that particular couple, the guy said, who will come to Canada, we don't know where to go. Sometimes we get the jobs without any ideas. Then he said he was working in one of the hardware store cutting the keys at the locksmith side. Then I advised him, you can come to real estate, you can study real estate, but at the same time, that time we have only Tamil Matil and Tamil guys. Then we look at the names, only one person advertised in a different community guy as a locksmith. Then I told him, why don't you buy a van with $4,000 and $5,000 capital and start as a locksmith. Whether you believe me or not, after next year he come to the tax return, he said he's doing good. That's what he said. And within third year, he called me one day, they said they want to meet me. And they came to me and said they have $750,000 cash. They want to buy a plaza. And they thanks to me, Silvana, you gave me the idea that day, instead of studying real estate as a locksmith, now he was doing very good. And finally, unfortunately, I couldn't make the sale. He got a good job at Calgary. That time people was moving to Calgary as one transition in 2007-8, those days, and he moved there. That was really impressed me as one of the client side. If you want to study real estate, I gave the idea to be a locksmith, and he made $250,000 and come to me and want to buy a plaza. And I can tell you another story with one of the tax clients. This happened 2 years ago. One of the clients. That's what Ajit also wanted to tell this one to others because I was sharing with him one day this story. One of the clients, he was doing some cleaning jobs, and I do the tax returns and helping the accounting side for him. Then one day he came and told me, he said, I find one of the business, can you reach the corporation? That's how we started. Then I said to him, I went into the corporation for him, and I didn't see him after 3 years. One day he said he come and we want to do the corporate tax return with us. And the interesting part, he came to the parking lot and he doesn't want to come upstairs. He called and he said, can you come down? As a regular person, I got really upset. Why are you coming here to the parking lot and asking me to come down? Then I realized, must be some valid reason. Then I said, okay, I don't mind to go. Then when I go to the parking lot, he gave me the paperwork. His yearly income is over $450,000. But at the same time, he doesn't want to come upstairs because he is picking up the garbages for the metal and he's selling those metal. That day he said, Salvana, I'm not wearing the slipper. I'm wearing the dirty shoe only. He's wearing it. He doesn't want to come upstairs and everybody see him. But can you believe somebody, hard work, they are picking up the garbage and selling the metal and making over $450,000. These are the stories sometimes, the client stories really bring us up in a different level when we see those ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's a motivation behind everyone's life.
Yeah.
Let me open up the floor to the audience here. And is there any questions that you want to ask Mr. Vettivale here?
I have a question.
All right.
You want to
Come
try
up,
ask them here, or?
Why don't you come up here?
For some reason, the table that I'm sitting at is full of young men that are trying to establish their careers and be well established and be recognized for our achievements in the community, like yourself. I know there's things in real estate, and of course, all of us have heard the good advice that you're giving to people in the community. Is there any advice for young Tamil men? Your generation gave a lot of sacrifice for our generation. We have a wonderful opportunity. Do you have any advice for us, for our generation, on how we can succeed in this environment?
Definitely. When we start the business, starting the business in two different kinds. Some of them we are just starting it impressed by other person. But as a young person, you have to do the calculation first. What you're going to be in 10 years time? What kind of, for example, if you want to open up the store, you have to know the traffic flows and how many people can come to your store. Or else if you want to start a profession, the age group of the people, what they're looking for, different time, different industries are changing. For example, 2000 computer industries. Now it's changed that one, and we can say so many things. Now is a market for the real estate industry and the financial industries. In my advice for the youngsters, you cannot start right away. You have to do the calculation first. What's your talents and what your weakness are? Who you can handle it first. Which level of people you can handle it, how much capital you want to invest, and what you're going to be in 10 years time. Like Walt Disney, he was standing up and he was imagining how is going to the Disney World going to be. Then finally, before it was only a mountain. He's standing there and he was thinking how the Disney World was going to be in his imagination. Same thing, you have to have the imagination and the talent, and you have to take some courses and study and do the calculation first. Any business you want to do. That's what's going to lead you for the growth. Thank you.
All right, if there's any other questions, I want to thank Mr. Vettivale for your time. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity, and the first time I'm meeting all the Chamber of Commerce members. Happy 25th anniversary. Thank you.